Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio Chin. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know if you're new to the channel, I like to look at everything, but I like to definitely focus on the deep aspects of ourself, which is the spiritual blocks, our shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within our experiences. So you need to keep that in mind. If you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you also have to be open to getting a shadow reading online, right? Because all my giveaway readings are done live. That's how I do them. I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone involved. And since these readings are healing readings, the collective also gets to benefit, right? When they come by it and they land on it. Healing is all about seeing things from a different perception. A lot of times when we're spiritual blocked, we have a lot of anxiety. We have a lot of anxiety because we're stuck in a place that doesn't allow us to to see any opportunities, any other opportunities except for one that keeps us in a place of limitation, keeps us in a place of fear, keeps us in a place of not being able to have. And I don't know why, possibly because I tried to do this reading before and I goofed. And so I started over, but the first card that I had pulled out was jealousy, and I still feel that energy. Sometimes when you start a reading over again, you get different energy. That's not what happened here. It's like what I'm feeling is that you're connected to people, or people are connected to you. All eyes are on you, and they're seeing that you're making things happen for yourself, and it's triggering a lot of people. But it's certainly triggering one person in particular that feels like you're going to leave them behind. So the underlining energy is jealousy. It's never good underlining energy, and I'm just going to tell you why. Because when people are jealous, it means that they feel that they can't have something that you can. And the problem is because they're looking at their life and seeing how you did what you did, and they can't really, feel. And when I say feel, like when we co-create, it is a co-create. When we manifest, it is a co-creation process. We don't really know what we're creating because it's an actual unfoldment process that we're being led. And so people are jealous because, again, they see that you created something and now it seems almost so simple, but they didn't have the vision for it. So it's triggering people on that level. And then I also feel um, like the person that you're connected to is jealous because I feel like they are in a shitload of karma. Like they are like repaying their karmic debt. And you've been in separation from this person, and they are seeing that you're going to have a great life, and that they acted like an asshole pretty much is what I'm feeling, which is why you're in separation from this person. And like I said, so we've been getting a lot of this lately. So that, but now as time goes by and you stay away, I feel like from all parties, that you're not having anything to do with certain people in your life. And that happens when we evolve. Right before we're about to manifest, we actually wind up letting go of a lot of people. We find that we're alone. But it's not because we're being punished. A lot of times it's because it's the way that the universe protects us. So, like I said, I feel like when people aren't able to manifest their life, and that might be being able to financially support themselves, or doing what they love and to be able to financially support themselves, or being in a healthy and happy and balanced relationship. But like, again, it's something that makes people perceive that they can't have, but here it is, you are creating it and people are seeing that you're creating it, and like I said, it's triggering a lot of people. However, I do feel like you are divinely protected, but when we see jealousy, we're going to see a lot of things that are not nice that people do. And we're also going to see your triggers the most, is what I'm feeling, Scorpio. So let's see. Let's see, let's see. Okay, superior. Yeah, like again, I feel like this is making this person. I didn't even pull out a card because it's like I said, I pulled it already. But let's pull another one to get more underlining energy, because it's like I said, I feel it, but now this card is superior. You can use that as the word of the day. The word of the video, rather, the word of the day, the word of the video. Um, but let's see, what is another one that we would want to use? Anger. Again, so I believe, again, so I'm still holding to that jealousy vibe, but just to be fair, we're like, okay, well, again, yeah, well, it's they're angry because they were used to seeing themselves as superior. And when you change, you force your environment to change. So when you're like, oh, people don't respect me, well, I feel like what you did was, well, I'm going to remove myself then, since I'm not getting what I need. And so you took your power back. And like I said, here you are, like creating, and you may not see it. You may say, like, "Oh, all I'm doing is living." Again, well, you are living carefree. There's no problems in your life. Your life looks easy to people. And because it looks easy to people, it's triggering, because they say, well, why do you have it and I don't? When meanwhile, I used to see you as this person, not that person, not a person that's better than me. Well, I understand that's when the divine gets involved. The divine gets involved a lot of times to take a person's ego down. So I believe, again, you met this person that you're connected to in a place when they were like life was good, where things were happening. Now, it doesn't mean that they were living true. I feel like they were, they might have been getting out of a relationship, they had other support, so they were able to be perceived as a lot stronger than who they were. So they might have been dating somebody else. They might have been dating a few people, but whatever it was, and able to do that because they made a lot of money. And this is really what I'm feeling. And now I'm feeling like people are seeing that you're going to make a lot of money, and that's triggering for them, because it's like, again, we saw you as this person, and now if you become somebody else, then we actually have to look at ourselves and actually do the work to figure out, hey, why did you get to where you got? What did it take? So I believe, again, the universe is keeping you protected from this type of negative energy, because you're doing what you need to do. But understand what you're feeling is that is that. And it's, again, because people feel out of tune. But I would, again, everyone was used to making you feel like you didn't weren't like you didn't belong. Everyone made it believe that you were over the top, when meanwhile you were the creative visionary. You're the one that has the power, and people are seeing it. People are seeing it. And it's very triggering, because it's like, we, again, like almost like, no, your life was not supposed to be this good. Because understand, I feel like a lot of people are having to look at how they treated you. And that is the problem, because people like to pretend that they don't know what they do. But then when you take a step back and you don't fight, you don't scream, but you create and you invest in yourself and you pour into yourself. Well, again, God always makes a way where there is no way, just for you. But don't understand, people are going to drop out of your life. People are going to make you feel as if there's something wrong with you, because, again, you're triggering them. And meanwhile, all you're doing is living. And so, again, I feel like you people are gonna, like, I feel like gonna lash out at you, like almost like you're gonna feel like everyone is the enemy for a little while, when really it's not. I feel like you're just going through a clearing process. And so I feel like this person that you're connected to also was part of that, where I feel like they wanted to treat you again more superior, possibly for different reasons. Like I said, I just like if you don't have a better life, then I don't have to put in any energy, and then I don't have to be vulnerable, is more like this person, where opposed to the other people are like really getting triggered over the fact that you're going to have an amazing life, that you're creating abundance for yourself. Again, Stonewall. So I think that again, part of your person was to not give you anything. And why I say that is I feel like you did try and have a conversation with this person about how you felt, and maybe possibly even trying to get a little bit more support from this person by starting off as being a friend with this person, so that you can again form some sort of emotionally intimacy to be trust. So I feel like you're someone, Scorpio, that is emotionally intelligent and does know what you need, and did try to be really honest with this person. And instead of you being welcomed with open arms, you kind of got stonewalled, like someone that just, they detached. Like, you know, like it's almost like whatever strong connection that you had, they acted this way for so long that it killed the connection. Because I feel like you're someone that is a demisexual, which is you have to have an emotional connection to like be intimate, to have those feelings, to romanticize a person. You have to have an emotional connection. And this person did everything to not allow. I feel like this person tried to control you with your mind. And the thing is, you're not someone that really can get controlled with your mind unless you're getting emotionally fed. And this person didn't do that emotionally feeding, which was why it was easy for you to walk away. A lot easier than what they thought anyway. And it's like, and where this person was tired of, like, you're not like they would do more and more things to try to get underneath your skin to create like this fake passion. This, when you create an attachment, a lot of times an attachment is where you can combine love with pain. It's when you're holding on to a cognitive dissonance. It's when you are with a narcissist that loves you one day and then hates you the next. So that's what those type of trauma bonds are. And the thing is, because this person wouldn't connect with you emotionally, there was no romance. There was no romance. Again, because you would have to again have that like connection in order for them to open up. And they got like it triggered them, because how this person identifies with how much a person wants them is how like sexually open they are to them, I guess. So it's like whether you find me attractive, like you need to again express to me that you show me that I'm attractive, almost like if I act superior and I give you a little bit, then you're going to like give me more, which is again a psychological thing that happens when you're with a narcissist. Um, it's almost like that person that's with the narcissist is like the rat waiting for the bell to go off so they can get fed by the piece of cheese. That scientist that every time they've been rang the bell, the little mouse got cheese. And then after a while, the scientist would ring the bell and there would be no cheese. And the mouse would be right there waiting for the piece of cheese. Like, what happened to the cheese? What happened to the cheese? Almost like this is what your person was trying to do. And then, but the thing is, it wasn't working because you weren't, again, a no emotional fulfillment, then I'm not giving you anything sexually. So all this person did was was wind up hurting themselves, the irony. And this is why I feel like they actually do have feelings for you, because they have abandonment issues, which is really fucked up, because it's like this person normally doesn't grow emotionally attached. But the truth of the matter is, it was almost like, why isn't what I'm doing working? Everybody likes me, everybody falls for this. Why aren't you falling for this? And then meanwhile, they're like, well, I'm feeling rejected. I'm feeling rejected because you're not coming on to me. And so it's almost like the universe has always had your back in this relationship. You may not have felt that way because you're a highly sensitive person that really is an authentic person, is a genuine person, which is why I feel like the universe did protect you, where you were like, oh, well, I was able to like recognize the red flags. I was able to get out before it fully destroyed me. I was able to, maybe give this person a few chances, but then finally wised up. Whatever it was that you were authentic and this person wasn't. And it's just funny to see it play out karmically. Um, Again, where then of course you would get blamed, because it's like, well, you're not showing me any emotionally like that I'm attracted. You don't act, you never talk about my body, you never talk about like the way I make you feel, you never talk to me about. And I feel like that takes a lot for you to be able to like talk that way, and let, again, you have to have that emotional connection. And where this person, it would be like in the middle of like a cafeteria and start talking to you that way, you know what I mean? And be fine with it and not think, because they don't associate it with anything emotional where you do. So it's, again, there's this like, this person's very, again, logical, it has a lot of earth energy, has a lot of grounding energy. Now, it doesn't mean that this is a male. Again, there is no gender. What it is it's like this person is just, is very, like, again, very survival, comes from that instinct, very grounded, someone that is in the present moment, but has a lot of the masculine energies and very strong, where I feel like you, again, have more water, a more emotional, not uncommon for Scorpios, right? To have a lot of emotional energy, a lot of air energy, a lot of psychic energy. So again, needing to connect emotionally, and this person is like doing anything but trying to like manipulate you. And the thing is, most people tend to go into relationships and look and see people for their potential. And then they get caught up in that, and they don't see that this person just is all about the physical connection. Doesn't mean that they don't know how to say the right words and come on to a person to get what they want, but it doesn't mean anything. Like I said, they can talk that way in the middle of a cafeteria. They can talk that way and like in conversation, and it's not, doesn't embarrass them. It doesn't, where I feel like it would embarrass you, that it would be like, you'd be like, this isn't the right like place to be talking like that to me. Like, and like you have to create the ambiance, like where that Scorpios are that way. Like you need to create the ambiance. You need to like, where they didn't want to do any of that, which again, very compartmentalized, where it's almost like a function. It's a need. It's like you go to the bathroom. Well, I also like, stop and have sex in between. And then I do, it's a function. And yes, that some people do work that way, but for you, it's more. And so I feel like this person saw it as, well, it's your fault. It's your fault. And where you're like, it wasn't my fault. It's your fault because you don't take the time to give me what I need. You're a very selfish person. And they are, because and they're a controlling person, because again, trying to stonewall you in order to get what they want. And so what has happened is there has been a lot of resentment that has built up over time. And this was a good could have been a really good connection, because it's not like this person didn't have the potential, but it was all about them, like, I feel like wanting to compartmentalize this connection because of their own emotional issues, of them not wanting to actually feel. And so again, and then the resentment, like then this person wants to play the one-uppy game. Oh, okay, well, since you're not gonna give me sex, well, then I'm just gonna go out and get it somewhere else. And that's gonna show, instead of actually emotionally giving you what you want, I'm gonna still ignore you, but I'm gonna blame you because you're not giving me anything. And because I'm angry, I'm going to cheat. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to justify it. And I'm going to justify it because, hey, well, you're not giving me what I want. So that's somebody that is just committed to not being in a relationship, just doing what they want when they want. Again, but they create the illusion that they do. Again, and that's really what you learned. You're like, well, I'm being with you. It's an illusion, like that we could ever be anything, because you're all about yourself. You don't care about like what I need, because if you took the time to actually get to know me, you would know exactly what I need. But instead, you repetitively give me less, and you want to put it like you're more superior, and now you're upset. And now, of course, you're upset because I have put the time and the energy into myself, and you see that I, again, I'm going to create a great life for myself, which, by the way, is like kudos to you, Scorpio, because that's one way that really shuts people up. Really shuts people up and makes them have to look at themselves. Yeah, where this, like, this person is gonna see that they're really the bad guy. It's like that no matter what they say, because guess what? When this person sees that they're not controlling you, and when these other people see that they not can control you anymore, then it's, again, they could try to make it like you're the bad guy. But the thing is, you're divinely protected, and you're divinely protected because you've been on your path. And so the universe always conspires to make it so that you will be protected. It's like, because like I said, I feel like the way that those people would do it, and the way that this person would do it, is that they would talk bad about you. They would try and ruin your reputation, right? But it's like when people can't control you, they try to control what other people think about you. Mainly because this person, again, you're triggering them. As again, they're used of people just falling for their little tricks and them getting what they want, to emotionally manipulate. Imagine like someone lifting you up, and then dropping you down, making you feel like nothing, and then cheating. A lot of times we know that that's narcissistic behavior, but it's also then what happens is it's a way to make the person submissive. So that's what this person was trying to do. And thank God they weren't able to do it. And thank God it's like you were like divinely protected. And I feel like, again, because you did not, you weren't, going to, you weren't going to be made to feel as if you were a hobby, okay? It's like this person wasn't giving enough, where they were expecting a whole lot from you. And like I said, and that's somebody that, again, compartmentalizes, and they're controlling in order to get it. And mainly so that it can fit into their illusions of what they want to perceive about themselves, which was that they were more superior about you, like over you, which I feel like for whatever reason, that's a karmic theme of yours, meeting people that you don't really do anything to, but people, again, want to view it. So I'm feeling like maybe you do something a little bit different. Maybe you again are just a person that tends to march to your own drum, and people don't have the courage to do that. People, again, it's never the money that you have or even the things that you have. It's your essence that people are jealous of. It's the way that you persevere through difficult times that people are jealous of. But that goes back to your connection to source. That goes back to being really grounded in yourself. And I believe that that's what you actually did in order to not be manipulated, in order to actually see who was true and who wasn't true, because that gave you perception. And how you say, how do you know? Well, I feel like Scorpio, you noticed who was clapping for you and who wasn't, who was congratulating you, who wasn't, who was genuinely happy for you and who wasn't. We notice those things. If that's so, I feel like because you were doing what you needed to do for yourself and you were in your power and you didn't fall for this fuckery, because this is what this guy or girl wanted to do. This is what this person, I'm so used to calling girls and guys, but this person, wanted to do. And so, which was take you down, because I believe that they kind of get off on that a little bit. It makes them feel good about themselves. It makes them feel superior. And when people have wounds where they're full of resentment because they can't get what they want, it's the anxiety. And it was also the fact that you were continually like being like, you're not desirable. You're not desirable. This is not all that. You have to be more than your looks and your body. You need to, again, bring something more to the table. Where I feel like this person's used to being able to navigate their way just by being charming and turning it on and off. They can be the chameleon, and then when they're confronted over their behavior, they stonewall. They're just going to be like, well, I'm not going to deal with it. And so the same divine, and so again, this person is a little shocked because there's a sense that there is a soul's connection, because again, the same divine energy flows in both of us. And I think that that's when you first met this person. They just want to be in a relationship where they're able to dominate the relationship. And one that's really not healthy, one that is more based on attachment, codependency, like a trauma bond, more than a relationship. And that's what happens when people are in toxic relationships over time. I believe this person creates toxic relationships, so that's what only feels natural to them. So unless you're chasing them and you're all over them and it's all about the passion and the physical, well, then this person is like content. But it's like you have to do that. And that's why this person, um, you know, I feel like they wanted that. So they, in their mind, it's like that your soul relationship, but it's like the way that they would have to be is they would have to surrender, meaning the same energy that's in both you and this person, which is unconditional love. This person is again very attracted to you. They want to connect in that way without again giving emotional. So they would actually have to evolve into the higher state of consciousness, which is unconditional love, learn how to compromise, learn to be more emotional, vulnerable, and actually to be able for this relationship to be is what this says, because it's not that the love isn't there, but the magic is like being blocked, and it's because this person's ego is in the way. They want to control it. When we surrender, then we come from a place of like our intuition. We come from the higher self. We are actually more balanced. This person is not balanced. So it doesn't mean that they don't feel the connection. They do. But in their way, it's like because of all their bad connections, Like I said, the trauma bond feels more comfortable to this person. Otherwise, they don't really feel as if you care as much as you do. And that's, in order to be in that type of connection, you'd be abandoning yourself. Again, expand your connection of the twin flame. It's more than a romance. It's a big soul activation. So I understand this may be your twin flame, but I don't feel like they are evolved enough to, again, step into that place. So I believe that this is more of a past life karmic mate that, again, if you come into this person's life and now you've made this person look at their life, and essentially that's what you've done, because you didn't play along, because you didn't act like all the other people, because you're handling your own stress very well, because your life seems so easy and without effort. However, any person that has jealousy towards us might be a soul member, family member, but it's to teach us. It doesn't necessarily mean we need to be with that person. And when a soul mate twin flame does come into our life, it's not an easy relationship. That person's coming into your life to help you bring up all the suppressed wounds, hurts, parts of yourself that you have detached from, parts of yourself that have made you feel defective, and to really investigate. And I feel like you're someone that emotionally didn't get what you needed, and that your needs went um kind of forgotten, and things that were important to you, and it was almost like you felt like you weren't allowed to have anything. And so and that happens when we come from very dysfunctional families, that there's no time, not enough time, not enough money, not enough. So I believe that this person may be your twin flame, but again, when we're expanding our concept on it, what we mean is it's like that this person has come into your life to make you look at all the difficult shit that you have suppressed, to help you integrate it so that you can become whole, so you can be a clear conduit for spirit to work through, so you can manifest your heaven on earth. That's why. It's like not all the time in this lifetime we're going to be with a twin flame, especially if they're toxic. And so again, if you emotionally didn't get what you needed, and this person, oh, you know what spirit just showed me? He just said, it just said, well, your person needs for you to show them, show them, show them, show them, show them through, again, sex, through physicality. And you need for them to show you, show you, show you, show you, show you on an emotional level. And both are out of balance. It's like the way that you learned to survive in your childhood was through clairsentient, through feeling. This person is very mental. They're very logical, very, again, like facts. And that's, again, connected more to grounding energy, and grounding is better connected to the physical body, that stimulation. So when we're out of balance, we tend to go towards things that want to help us create balance. This person might have 1,000 different people that they sleep with to create that balance that makes them feel balanced, even though we know that it's not creating balance. The addiction is never what creates the balance. It's what the person perceives. So it's the codependency. And for you, emotionally, you might say, well, I go out and I go shopping, or I went and I ate like whatever, or I did whatever you do. But you see that it's in essence, in excess, where it's too much, where spirit's saying, well, now I'm going to connect you to somebody that doesn't talk that language. That's not their love language. Again, their love language is something different, and they're going to show you different. And so unconditional love You don't have any control over who you love, even if it logically doesn't make sense. Like, I shouldn't be liking you. You don't connect with me properly. It's like spirit saying, it's like your soulmate twin flame relationships are not just about, again, love and romance. They're about healing, deep soul activation, getting clear. It's about taking a good hard look at what's broken inside of us or perceived as broken, because that's really what it is, where spirit's saying you're blocked. You're blocked in a limited perception. And that perception is that you need this person to emotionally continue to show up for you. But they're again not capable. That's not their language. You're going to keep putting the square peg in the circle hole. Again, you don't have any control. Twin flame soulmate relationships are all about surrender. And that doesn't mean surrender to this person in this situation, because they're a little bit too, again, they need their own healing too much. However, it doesn't mean that unconditional love isn't there. I just have to say that. I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now, my life is too complicated to bring you into it, but know that I do want to talk to you. So I feel like, again, this person, you're still on this person's mind. I think that this person, like, from living very out of balance, when you compartmentalize, that's what it is. You know, you can't cheat and, you know, only care about yourself and think that only good things are going to happen. So I kind of feel like this person, like, has messed around with a few people, and there's karmic consequences for it right now. And when we let our addictions run us, and understand too, the way that we learned how to survive in childhood is still going to be the survival mechanism that we go to in adulthood, but that is always what's going to block us, because again, life changes. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to integrate. This person hasn't. So I believe that's why their life is in shambles. And here it is. You did, like, Mrs. Mr. or Mrs. Good doer, you know, is how this person sees it. And it's like, your life is going to be amazing. And again, that makes them have to look at themselves. And that's really uncomfortable for this person, because they have to look at how they treated you. And I feel like, again, they are going to try and comment, like, contact you and maybe apologize as best as they can obviously apologize. But I think it's because you have impacted them and there is unconditional love. But I'm kind of feeling more like more than like a romance. It's more like almost like wow, like you're so honest and you were so true. You're someone that I would want to have in my life. And your life is in alignment with the fact that you are good. So it's, again, and so no matter what this person would be able to say about you, no one would be able to listen, because you've been protected. You've been doing what you've needed to do. You didn't run back to this person and fix it, which is what the abuser is always used to. You know, that they're the ones that hurt, they're the ones that harm, they're the ones, but then they act like the victim. And then, you know, and they're usually able to do that by making you feel bad, or by making their victim feel bad. So again, I feel like right now, this person's too insecure. Like, you see them as too insecure, and like, you're breaking free. You know, you're just breaking free. Like, you were too strong-willed for this person. They never met a person like you before. So again, it's almost like this person has a lot of respect for you, where feel like they normally don't have any respect for anybody. And they actually think that they always outsmart everybody. And here it is. It's like they thought that they were more superior, and what you showed is them is you're more superior, but you're not flaunting it. That's not who you are. That it's like your life and what you're manifesting and everything is a sign of how your effort, you poured into yourself. And people can pour into themselves too and be able to create their life. It's just not going to look like your life. The problem is that no one's creating their life. And when we aren't creating our life, because we don't know how to do that, because we're too busy looking in everybody else's garden, well, obviously it's going to trigger. And if you, again, were like this person that you connected to, that created their life, but screws up their life because they like to cheat and they like to get attention from a lot of people and to draw just anyone into their life. And so that means that people screw up their life, which makes this person very angry and want to control your life. They just thought that that cycle was going to continue. And I feel like by you actually being like, no, I'm breaking free from this shit. It didn't just make this person like look at you where they like, wow, I really respect and admire you, which is shocking, but it would also made them look at their own life, which inevitably that's what spirit says. The relationships are mainly for that. I realize that everyone wants to fall in love and, have all this passion and this excitement, and you can have that too. But spirit says, but all relationships spirit says are important because they all help you evolve, even the painful ones. Then you can never go back to the same way that you were. You can never, put your brain back to like what it was before the experience that you had before that person. Like you'll never evolve back, but that person can change you. We change because it makes us look at life differently because of the love that we have for a person that we're connected to. It just is what happens. So spirit says, return to the heart. That's what this connection is. So again, soulmate twin flame is the soul activation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're always with our twin. People like to fantasize and romanticize twin flame, where it's not the easiest relationship. It's not. It means that you're looking at your hardcore wounds, and this person's looking at their hardcore wounds. Now, on some level, that both parties have agreed to this, but it doesn't mean that they're going to get along and live happily ever after. There's a runner, there's a chaser, and we get to a point where we're like, fuck you. It's like you should have acted right. And it's because this person is bringing up hardcore wounds, making us look at them, the things that we've suppressed. So everything's to return back to the heart. And why? Because it's to give and receive of love, which is your free will. And the higher self is the God part of self, which lives in our heart. And again, we can feel them in our gut, but we can also feel them in our heart. And it's about giving and receiving of love to become the expression of love, to know what love is. And love is also painful. It's unconditional. It's like, and there's no other way to really see that unconditional love has so many different layers because it's like that opposites attract, there's all these different feelings again and emotions and perceptions of love, but it all is to help you to return back to your heart. All right, I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. I know that was kind of a lot long-winded, I'm sure, very wordy, but I'm working on it. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you guys. Thank you guys, by the way, for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. And I love all your comments. I do read them. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.